What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Duck Koala coming at you guys with another series, and I'm actually really stoked for this series. You guys have been requesting it non-stop ever since I finished the first book, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into this one now. This is actually The Watcher. This is book 2 by Mr. Sean Dunn. If you guys haven't seen the first series yet, make sure you guys go check out the description down below. Check all those out. Come back to this video and catch up. But I want to say what's up to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys turn on my notifications so that way you guys know whenever I upload a video. I definitely appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? But with all that to the side, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into this video. If we can smash 400 likes on this video, I know you guys can do it. I'll make sure to release part 2 for you guys. So let's see if we can smash 400 likes. I'll definitely appreciate it, guys. But with all that to the side, let's go ahead and get into this. This is The Watcher, book 2. Enjoy. Chloe woke to find herself lying awkwardly on the ground, engulfed by chill and darkness. Not the lonely dark of a moonless night, mind you, or the solitude one experiences whilst hiding in a broom closet, or even the dank gloom that exists in the furthest corner of a windowless basement. No, Chloe awoke to find herself utterly consumed by blackness. A darkness so thorough it felt to her as if life itself had gone from the world. Fearing to so much as sit up without knowing her surroundings, Chloe quietly clears her throat in preparation of asking a question. The tiny noise escaping her body is instantly swallowed up by the night, and she recognizes that the depth of the blackness in this place is matched only by the weight of the accompanying silence. She clears her throat again and asks, "Hello? Is anyone there?" The tremor in Chloe's voice excites the unseen things gathered all around her. Thousands of them come to sniff the little girl they've heard so much about. Now, were Chloe's eyes capable of penetrating the dusky mark enveloping her, she would find herself the center of some most unwanted attention. Fortunately for her, human eyes are reliably inferior in this regard. As such, the lurid menagerie of monsters lurking in the bleakness about Chloe remain unperceived. For the moment, anyway. That's not to say she's incapable of recognizing their presence. She would know they are there if she knew which of her senses to rely on. But she doesn't. For while these gruesome beings blend quite so easily into shadow and night, there is little they can do to mask the pungent odor they give off. In fact, Chloe's nostrils are presently filled with their scent, only she does not know it's their scent. You see, the dark places of the world and the dark things of the world share a common trait, namely an almost putrid, musty smell which is not at all unlike a mixture of wet leaves on dampened earth, rotting logs, and decaying vegetation. These are the images that flash through Chloe's mind, not those of hideous monsters and ravenous beasts, so their presence remains a secret for now. With no other course of action left to her, Chloe dares to sit up and inhale deeply the heavy air around her. This time, however, the noise emanating from within her seems to echo without for an eternity, as if bouncing off 1,000 distant mountains. Or is this perceived echo merely the sound of the 1,000 creatures around her, drawing in their own breath? Their first since she began to stir. Chloe can't possibly know, but this fact does not prevent the queasiness in her stomach from becoming more, well, queasy, I suppose. In either case, her brain recognizes the sense around her as, the forest? Am I in the forest? Her words fall on deaf ears, though the eyes continue to stare. Large eyes with cavernous black pupils that suck in every stray photon, enabling the things that go bump in the night to gaze upon Chloe with perfect clarity. They watch, unmoving, as she rolls onto her knees and runs her hands over the mossy carpet covering the ground beneath her. They feel the ripples in the air as she shivers against the bone-chilling dampness they find so comforting. And most assuredly, they smell her fear as she fumbles about in the perpetual eventide that exists here. It's what they feed on, what they exist for. To terrify. It's why so many have come to taste of her fear. If permitted, there isn't one among them who wouldn't be on her in an instant. Snapping and snarling and biting and scratching until Chloe was driven half mad with pain and terror, but for now, the little girl is off of limits. Off the menu, so to speak. So they simply gaze with fascination as her warm breath crosses her lips, condensing into tiny clouds that spiral and swirl playfully. And they follow with their eyes as Chloe scurries about on all fours, scraping about in the pitch, until her fingers stumble onto something tiny growing up from the spongy turf. It is something familiar to her. A mushroom? I am in the woods! She says it with a certainty, mildly comforted by her discovery. Getting to her feet, Chloe extends her arms. She moves cautiously about in ever-widening circles, surveying the area around her until... Dang it! The root protruding from the ground next to her, the root over which she just tripped and fell, is as thick as her thigh. A giant bark-covered elbow put her to make her look the fool, apparently. Only there's no one here to look foolish in front of. Is there? She asked the darkness. Not waiting for a response, Chloe rubs her skinned knees, gets back on her feet, and gives the offending root a blind kick. The ancient tree from which this clunky appendage grows must be enormous. Chloe's instinct is to follow the root, to find the trunk. If she can find the trunk, perhaps she will climb up in the morning and plot a way out of here. On the other hand, what happens if she is gone when the Snatcher, or whoever dumped her here, returns to collect her? Would that be such a bad thing? Chloe wonders aloud. But she has no idea. What she does know is that she didn't get here on her own. Something left her in this clearing. At least she assumes she's in a clearing based on the circles she walked before falling on her face. Maybe I was left here for a reason. Chloe has no fear of speaking these words aloud. After all, the idea she was left here for a reason indicates someone or something will eventually return to her. Doesn't it? Unless, of course, you were left out here to die. Perhaps that is the reason. The thought hits Chloe hard. It takes the wind from her sails and knocks her back down to her knees, defeated. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's better if I die out here. She whispers the words to herself. And with them come the tears. Finally. For as strong and brave and intrepid as Chloe appears to be, she is still, after all, a young girl who just lost both her parents, one of whom was murdered by the other. Yes, Chloe is tired of being brave, so she pulls her knees up to her chin, hugs her legs tightly, and lets the tears flow. And that's when she hears it. Without question, she heard something this time. Faint and muffled, but unmistakable. Someone out there snickered. It was deep and it was guttural, and it was likely not even human, but there's no denying it was a snicker. Somehow, somewhere, out there, someone or something was laughing at her pain. Alrighty guys, so that just set the tone for book 2. The imagery and everything in this. So I really like this book too, because it's more of like an actual like story. The writer, Sean Dunn, he like composed this to be more of like a narrative and everything. And he's creating like all these details and everything. And it makes you like imagine and like see and visualize what's going on around Chloe instead of like the kind of like back and forth text messages that we're used to. So I'm really excited about reading the rest of this story. If you guys are excited for it as well, make sure to leave a like down below. If we can smash 400 likes on this video, I'll make sure to get part 2 out for you guys. And if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel by clicking on that little koala logo right there, I would definitely appreciate it, guys. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. This has been your boy, Duck Koala. Peace out.